Hi everybody, I'm Nory, nice to meet you again. By this time, I believe you probably watched already my other two videos, the step 1 and step 2 of blooming in every season. So I don't want to make it too long, and I'm going to try to tell you what I have to tell you while I do this with resin. So right now you should have this complete, and we're gonna go and jump into the third step. You're gonna need cups, a dropper if you can, and you're gonna create colors for the flowers and for the pattern. So I recommend, if you want and if you don't wanna go and buy it online, you can get this one at Walmart. It costs about $18 with tax included, and it has all of it. Already has some cups, epoxy number 1 and number 2, or A and B, and you're gonna have also extra gloves and a little stick. But I do have my own, and I of course recommend that you wear gloves at all times because the product is toxic. So I'm gonna move this out of the camera and I'm gonna jump into the next one right away. So what I do, and I think it's a time saver, is to create a clear color. First of all, with that clear coat, I'm gonna fill in the what is called negative space, whatever is the background, and the rest I can use to create colors. Once you use a color, it's very hard to change it to another one. So I recommend that you create first the clear one. And there is, I'm gonna take them off for a minute because I don't have a lot of precision with this, but I'm gonna wear them. I probably should do it, but these little cups have measurements. The magic element on this is to do one part of each, and that is exactly like the other one. So it's 1 and 1. So if you're gonna be using this clear cast epoxy, the ratio should be 1 and 1. So why the theme blooming in every season? And it's so interesting to me, and so pure at the same time, that we can talk about probably bad seasons in our life when we don't feel like blooming. We feel like hiding, we feel like complaining, we feel like, I don't know, not enjoying what we're doing. But the Bible says in one of my favorite books of the Bible, which is Ecclesiastic, that there is a time for everything. So what is that Bible verse telling us is that there are gonna be bad times and good times. There's a time for crying, there's a time for having fun, there's a time for bad seasons. I remember my pastor always saying, Pastor Boykin, that if you're in a good season, you better enjoy it because the bad one is coming right after. And I believe that even when that is sad to say, it's the truth. What I'm going to do right now is measure 20, and I'm gonna pour it in another cup, okay? So I use side A, I'm gonna put it aside, close it, and then I'm gonna use side B. So that said, when we have a good season and then we have a bad one, it's very hard to enjoy the bad season. It's really bad, and it's very complicated. And to be honest and say, I'm having a bad time. I'm having a complicated time. I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. But I also know, we were talking with Danny about this, and I wanna take the opportunity to thank Danny for this, is that some flowers bloom even in the worst weathers, and in the snow, in the sand, in a wall between bricks. So I think there's a purpose for blooming in a bad season, and I believe the persons that go through that are gonna be very exemplary, you know, examples for other people that are gonna go probably next after that. So although it's hard, you can still bloom in a bad season. Again, not easy. It's easier to say than to leave it, but you can still do it. A bad season could have many shapes. It could be a season of loss. I believe we all go through that at some point in our lives. We're gonna go through a season of loss. So now I'm gonna stop for a second. I'm gonna get product side B. Okay, so this is the second one. I always explain that the reason why we can create from liquids a second byproduct, which is the resin and the it looks like acrylic pretty much, is because they heat when you mix them and they solidify in a third you know, in a third product that again looks like acrylic, because the heat, when they mix, they make it stronger until they create a product that is completely hardened and it looks fantastic. And I believe that is such a good product because you can do anything and it always looks good. It doesn't matter if you're a professional or an amateur like me. I create tons of stuff at home. You know, I love creating decor, and I believe this one you're gonna be able to use for journaling, for clipping things onto it. It has so many uses. It could be a product for decoration in your home, something that you can make for fall. I'm trying to use colors that are related to fall, but I also match with my decoration at home. I use a lot of green and a lot of aqua and teal, because those are my favorite colors. So now that you have the two products together, try to be as exact as you can with this mixing. Okay, so you're gonna be mixing these two. We did this before when creating the leaves and when using this product before. What I'm going to do is mix them for probably 4 minutes, and while I do that, I'm gonna talk to you. And I was talking to someone during the week, speaking with a friend, and she actually moved from one state to another, and it was very brave of her to do something like that. I didn't know she was gonna do that. And you know, I encourage her. By the way, this product smells, and if you have issues with smell, wear a mask, okay? And this friend, I encouraged her to make a move because she needed a change. She went through, she became a widow at a young age, and she found like there was nothing else for her in the place where she was, but she wasn't able to move out. For some reason, it was hard for her to make a change, to get out of her comfort zone, and I completely understand that. But you know, sometimes you come to a point where you have to make a change. It's really complicated. I'm not saying it's easy, but it seems to me like at some points in your life you should be able to make a change and look not for what is comfortable to you, but what it looks like future to you. And she called me out of the blue and she said, you know, I got the job that I was expecting in this other state and I moved out. And I was surprised, you know, like, wow, you're so brave. That's so cool, you know. To be honest, I was surprised in a good way, and it was very nice to hear that. But the next day she calls me crying and she's like, you know, this doesn't look like what I expected. The job is not what they told me, not even the pay. And she was in tears, and I'm like, okay, slow down, you know. And I try to be wise as much as I can, and I prayed for her, and I sent her a couple of messages after, and I said, you know what, you should give this opportunity a chance. You should wait. Don't leave, don't come back like that, you know, like you should give the experience a chance. And also the place. Sometimes it takes time to bloom in a different place. And this is probably the second part of my message. It's not only about the time, there is a time for everything, but it's also a place to bloom. And sometimes it seems like the place where you are, you're not blooming, and sometimes you need to give it some time. You need to give it time. Maybe you can find another job in the place. Maybe you went there for one reason, but the Lord is gonna show you that there was another reason behind it. I found out in my own story, when I came to United States about 22 years ago now. I thought it was about safety. My children were growing in a place that was very unsafe, and we weren't able to keep up with jobs because they were hiring people that was younger and younger, and we were not getting any younger. So we came to United States looking for those opportunities. And after a while, I found out that God had other plans, that He was the one that sent us here. But even when we always serve Him, all the time, since I remember, since I'm probably 11 or 12 years old, He had other plans. But for that, I have to give God the time, and I have to wait. Like we say, wait on Him. Sometimes it's hard. It's hard to wait. You're like, hey, I wanted this. What happened? Well, you have to wait, and it's hard to wait. So I'm gonna pour a second layer, and I'm gonna show you that this clear layer is gonna go in some places where I didn't have a lot of resin covering. So once I do that, and I'm gonna fill out those little holes with transparent. Okay, the good thing about this resin is that it covers the holes. You don't need to do much. Sometimes you need to move it a little bit around, but this one is very thick, which is fine. And as you can see, I'm pouring in places where the green one didn't cover. Sometimes a piece moves, or you move it without noticing, and you need to refill those little holes. There you go. So with the extra product, because I know I'm gonna have some extra product, I'm going to create the colors for the flowers, okay? And I'm gonna show you that in a second. Okay, so we should give God time. I believe it was like a month ago, I was very discouraged, and I was like, something was happening. My husband wasn't recovering at the speed that I thought, and he thought that he was gonna recover. And I heard a preaching, and the pastor said, trust God for today. And that was, for me, was mind-blowing. Like, yes, I'm gonna trust Him just for today. That doesn't mean that I don't trust God. I absolutely do. But trusting Him for just today, it was good enough for me. Like, okay, He's gonna provide today, He's gonna help me today. And I think that is a good idea for you that you're watching. Like, I can't wait anymore. Just wait. Just trust for today. Trust God in the morning for the rest of the day. You don't need to trust any longer than that. And He's gonna open the doors. So, because I was feeling in a season of transition, and when you're in a transition, it's very uncomfortable. And I was like, what am I gonna do until the next thing happens, or until the next season happens? What am I gonna do now? And He showed me, this is not the season for that I show you that's gonna happen in the future, but during this transition, you're gonna grow and you're gonna do some other stuff that you didn't have planned. And it came out like, okay, He showed me things that I needed to do for my family, for my own growth, and things that, I'm gonna tell you one of them. My mom is turning 75, and He showed me that I should be with her for her 75th birthday. That wasn't in my plans at all. My mom is going back to my country, and I was like, and it felt like, what, it's true. My mom is gonna be 75 just once. That is not my future. That is this transition until I get to the other side. But during this transition, my mom is turning 75. My husband is turning 60. And I was like, you know what? I should pay attention to this. This is what's happening now. What's happening in a month. It's not my plan for the future that he showed me, because he showed me a future for me. But I'm not there yet. But in the meantime, I have to take care of stuff, the stuff that is today. And I'm gonna bloom doing this, which is taking care of my shop, using the place where I work as a field where I'm sowing seeds, and I can tell you more about that, but not right now. So whatever you have to do today, take care of that today. Bloom today where you are today, even in a transition. So right now what I'm gonna do, because I don't wanna waste a lot of time, is create with the same clear a couple of colors. For that you can use mica product, you can use dyes, you know, I also have dyes like liquid ink, and you can also use these little things that can have, you know, like sequences and stuff. They're adorable. So I think I'm gonna use always pink, you know, pink is my favorite color, and I like to do some orange too, so maybe I'm gonna start with the orange because then it's hard to create pink. It's hard to create orange over pink. I might reuse this. I'm gonna use just a little drop of orange, because if I go too hard on this, then it's gonna be really hard to create a second color. But if I use just a little drop of powder, it's powder, okay, mica powder. Okay, so again, transition, not easy, right? But that reminds me of a story that I told my friend, you know, because sometimes we question, what if God gets mad with me, or he's bothered by me changing from one place to another? Sometimes you feel like, okay, season is over. I just finished the season. I don't feel like I belong in this one anymore. And you have fear to move to another one. And we get into that mindset that God is gonna get mad with me if I move. It's not in his will, and we start with all this questioning, which is very valid. But the thing is, I remember the story of Abraham. And I'm gonna tell you about that in a second. First, I'm gonna fill the big ones, the big petals, with orange. I'm gonna throw a drop there, okay? And let it happen, okay? It's probably, oh, look like a shoal. That's so cool. So I'm gonna do this, fill maybe 4 or 5 of this, and usually it goes all the way to the ends without doing much. But if you don't see that it's filling the hole, just you do it, okay? Try to measure the same amounts of resin. Very good. So Abraham, God gave him an instruction to go to another place. And honestly, he was very brave, and he did, because God didn't even tell him where. But he told him, don't bring your nephew Lot with you, which he did. Well, he didn't say your nephew. He said, leave your father and your mother and all your family and go where I'm gonna show you. But he took his nephew, and everybody makes a whole story about that. And you know what? Abraham paid the price of taking Lot with him. But still, God blessed him. Whatever he wants. Yeah, he paid the price, because Lot made a mess. Everywhere he went, he made a mess. You know the story. If you don't, please read it in the book of Genesis. But even though God blessed him at all times, now I'm gonna mix that orange with this, and let's see what happens. So what is the point here? And I was talking to my sister in Argentina about this, because sometimes we get very afraid of moving to another place. And she was in that situation years ago, fearful, because she was living in the suburbs and she was moving back to the city. And she was fearful that she was making a mistake. So she talked to her pastor. And her pastor told her something that it was so interesting to me. He said something like, you know, God is no bother but the place where you move. He's bothered by the intentions of your heart. And that was like, whoa. So what is the meaning of that? And I'm gonna explain to you easily. In the meantime, I'm gonna pour this beautiful pink I created in the other big ones. Let's say that, I'm gonna be very honest and brutal with you. Let's say that you move to another place because of greed. Or you move to another place because you had an older boyfriend, a previous boyfriend in that place. So that is attractive. And you're married. Let's say that you want to move to another place because bad intentions, bad reasons. God is never gonna bless you if you do something like that, of course. But everybody else that moved, if you look in the Bible, from one place to another, God blessed them anyways, even with the mistakes and all. And there's a verse for that. And the verse says, I will bless you in the field. I will bless you in the city. And there are conditions for that. And the conditions are not related to space or time or place. They're related to obedience. That we continue to teach our children about the Lord, that we continue to obey the Lord in all we do. So it's not about the place. It's about the intentions of your heart. That doesn't mean, please don't move to another place that God didn't tell you to do. Look at this, it's so cool. But don't live in fear. If your season is sober in a place, and you believe that the Holy Spirit is telling you to go and to move, please do it. Don't miss the opportunity. You get me? Because sometimes the season is over in a place. And there's something else that I like to add. If you're gonna start complaining about your season and your place, maybe it's time to go. I see many people, mostly in church, that they felt like their season is over. They have no reason to stay. They feel like, okay, this is it. I'm done. I did what I had to do. I have a good heart. Everything is cool with everybody. But I don't belong anymore. I feel like my time is over. Before you start to complain and to gossip, please move on. Go to another place. Probably your time there is over. Now, if God doesn't tell you to go, but He tells you to stay, please stay. What I'm trying to say is it takes a lot of maturity to stay in a place where you don't feel like you belong anymore. But it's a very, very nice show of obedience if you stay in a place where you think you don't belong anymore, but God tells you to stay. Because He's probably gonna show you something, or maybe you're gonna be the next for something else. But if you're gonna start complaining and gossiping, which shows immaturity, please don't do it. Or just move on into the next place. I think if the intentions of the heart are good, and God knows better than anybody else the intentions of the heart, He's gonna still bless you and bless me, whatever we are. If we can keep serving Him and having a good heart. But if you feel like you are not blooming in a place anymore, maybe it's time to look for another spot, okay? So I show you this. Now I mix it with sequences in hot pink, and I'm gonna fill the other little spots. For that, I might need a dropper, which I found. Let me see. Oh, it's right here. The dropper is gonna help you because it's gonna absorb the resin and pour it again in the place where you want it to be. I love how this is looking right now, and I hope the dropper works because this is very thick. Okay, so you should be able to get some liquid and pour it into the new flowers. Okay, if it doesn't work, just use this. I'm gonna try because this is very thick right now. What I should do is create a new batch and I'm gonna do that, but I'm not gonna continue with the video because it's already long for you guys and you probably have stuff to do. What I'm trying to say in a few words is bloom whatever you are, whatever season you are. If you're in a transition, wait on the Lord. He's gonna show you what to do in this right time of your life. And I was talking to Danny and we were talking about this, and God showed her what to do during this season and this transition, you know. And He's so loving. God is so loving that always gives you stuff to do, people to take care of, even a little pet. And you're gonna tell me like, ooh, lady, no. He might tell you to take care of a little pet for a while because that's gonna teach you something, which is probably not what you expect me to do. But God is so wonderful and He's so out of the box. And sometimes I feel like we are in a box and we want to put God in a box, but He's not. He's not in the box. He's so powerful, all loving. He's gonna tell you what to do during this transition. And when you get to the next season, be good. Enjoy the new season, okay? Sometimes we ask for something for a long time, and when it comes, we don't even say thank you, you know? I believe we should be very thankful about all the options in our lives, even when the bad times come, which is, it's complicated to be thankful when we're in a bad season, but we should be thankful. And I wanted to do this and these beautiful colors because my favorite season of the year is coming, which is Thanksgiving and Christmas time, you know? I believe this is a time of the year where we really show our true colors because it's a season of giving, it's a season of thanking, you know, being thankful, being grateful. And it talks a lot about us, you know? Can we be thankful even when maybe we're not very happy with what's happening? And make a list, you know, make a list of about the things that you should be thankful for because we have so many. We live in a free country still. We have food, we have jobs, we have water, we can take a shower. Sometimes little stuff that we consider little for some people, they don't even have it. They don't even have water. They don't have a family, they don't have a husband, they don't have a son, they don't have a dog, okay? They don't have shades, or they don't have air conditioning, and there's no... I remember after one of the earthquakes in Haiti, all the trees were blown away, you know, they were taken out of their roots and disappeared. That people have no shadows, no shade where to stay. And in a climate like this one in Florida, I think that is probably very painful, or even it can cause you death, you know? So being thankful for the change, being thankful for the new birds that are coming, they are migrating from other countries and other states. I love seeing the blue jays because that reminds me, ooh, it's a new season. The fall is here. Be thankful for the red leaves. If you see some in Florida, or if you go to another state, be thankful that God is still in control. God is still God. When you come in the morning, when you go to work, you go outside and you see these beautiful skies in September and October, just wow, say, wow, God, you painted that sky for me today. So I just can enjoy that with my own eyes. Let's be thankful for all the little details. And let's grow and let's bloom, even between the bricks, even in the snow. Find the opportunity to bloom. Find the church, find a place, find a school, be a volunteer. Do something with your time and show that you're grateful and that you can bloom in every season and in every place. And God bless you because He promises you that He will bless you in the city. See, He will bless you in the fields. He will bless you near the ocean or the shore. He will bless you in the forest. He will bless you wherever you are. He will bless you inside the house. He will bless you outside the house. He will take care of you. Yesterday, I woke up singing that song that says, He takes care of me. Na, 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 na. He takes care of me and He takes care of you. That's a promise. God bless you. And if you have any question or any comment, write it there on Facebook. And I have a channel on Instagram if you want to follow me and learn more about resin. Mwah. Love you.